I know you love it when I'm out here in the wackest of setups, because I'm out here on vacation. It is the holidays, which means that I do have to spend some family time, because that's what a normal human being does. Therefore, I'm sitting here in our family vehicle talking about the Vancouver Canucks, because we just got done watching it via stream on my laptop, connected to the TV, because we are in America, so they don't have Sportsnet Pacific. But I connected everything, we watched the game, it was a very nice game to watch, and the Canucks won. So before we get into the whole analysis of this game, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all of you who are watching this video at the moment. I still will be uploading videos as the days go on. I am on vacation, but I did do a lot of pre-recording before we set ourselves out, because I was wanting to prepare for this little break and little vacation, and I still wanted to get videos out there. So that Niels Hoglander video from earlier today was actually pre-recorded. That was recorded on Saturday. And the next video's out tomorrow, and then on Christmas Day, were also recorded on Saturday. But this video, it's being recorded right after the Canucks game. The Canucks win. It is an ultimate 4-2 victory over the Edmonton Oilers in Rogers Arena to end things off and to lead into the Christmas break. So again, happy holidays to all of you, but before we go any further, let's actually talk about this game. The title suggests it all. Hey, Loui Eriksson was great in this game. What the hell was that? The best game that Loui Eriksson has played as a Vancouver Canuck, in my opinion. The guy not only gets a goal, which is at the very end of the game, and it's a goal that's pretty much handed to him, literally speaking, because Alexander Edler is not selfish in his return. But Loui Eriksson has his best game of the year, where he's creating chances out there. He's pulling the trigger on many high-danger scoring opportunities. He doesn't get one to go until the very end, which is the empty netter. But all in all, Loui Eriksson has some crazy good offensive chances, and I'm really, really impressed with what we saw earlier today. Now, before we continue with things any further, sorry, the camera just fell down, so we had to fix that. I don't have a little adapter to connect my phone to the display board over here. I just have to stand it up against the side of the car. Before we get things underway, let's talk about what happened before this game. Before this game, they announced that Alexander Edler was indeed returning. And returning Alexander is exactly what we got here. But with the return of one defenseman means the exclusion of another. And a lot of Canucks fans were saying, okay, by default, traditionally, it would be Oscar Fantenberg who steps out of the lineup for Edler to come back in, because that's initially what happened in the first place. Edler goes out, Fantenberg comes in, and the Canucks roll with that going forward. But instead, it's not Oscar Fantenberg who gets taken out. Instead, it's Jordie Benn, in a decision that I was honestly kind of surprised to see them make, but in a decision that I was personally like, yeah, you know, I honestly think that's kind of the right move. No disrespect to Jordie Benn, but Oscar Fantenberg has been so good in the limited amount of games that he's played for the Vancouver Canucks thus far that I was really happy to see him get an extended look when this team is all healthy. Because we do have 7 healthy defensemen on this Vancouver Canucks squad at the moment, and Fantenberg isn't the odd man out. So it was really nice for me to see that, and this game kind of proved it, that, yeah, Fantenberg does belong. No disrespect to Jordie Benn once again, but Fantenberg has been so good, and he was able to show that off again here today in Alexander Edler's return. And he made an immediate impact, too, playing out there and eating up the minutes in the same way that we know Alexander is capable of doing. And we also had Thatcher Demko on the bench as the backup goalie, technically, so to speak, which I didn't even realize until the very end of the game, where they showed the Canucks flooding Jacob Markstrom and Demko was there. I was like, hey, why the heck is Demko there? I thought it was out. But regardless, the Vancouver Canucks start this one off early with Tyler Motte, who gets a pretty good goal off of the face-off. He wins the draw. Well, technically he loses the draw because Draisaitl kind of pulls it back. But Draisaitl, he pulls it back, and then Tyler Motte comes in, gets by the man, pulls it over to the forehand, shoots it, and he scores it. It's 1-0 Vancouver. And by this point, I'm like, hell yeah, Tyler Motte, the guy's got his first goal in the year. Better late than never. It's 1-0 Vancouver. And then just give it a few more minutes because Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he's a thing. He's from the Lower Mainland. He comes in, gets by Besser, then he gets by Myers, and he gets by Fantenberg, and then he comes in, he shoots it, and he scores it. It's a high blocker goal, and at this point it's 1-1, and I'm like, okay, seriously, way to steal the momentum, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. But this was a period where the Vancouver Canucks honestly looked like the much better team. The Oilers had the lead on the Canucks in terms of the shots, and the game was technically tied, but that first period was filled with a lot of really good Vancouver Canucks scoring chances. Guys like Pettersson, guys like Eriksson were getting on the board and getting their looks. The scoring chances were outnumbered like 6 or 7 to 1 in Vancouver's favor, and Vancouver only really lapsed once. And that once was enough to put the Oilers on the board and to actually tie up the game. But from that first period alone, the Vancouver Canucks looked like the better team. And that was something that I was really happy to see, because right before the Christmas break, you can understand that their players might, that's a loud car, the players might get a little bit lackadaisical out there. It's the last game before the break, everybody's got Christmas shopping and their families and all that on their mind. So it's understandable to see why some players may take a little bit of a back seat in the hockey game. And we saw that with some of the other NHL games, but in this one, we didn't see that with Vancouver. So I was really happy to see that. Then, going over into the second period, there are no goals scored by the Canucks, but there is a goal scored on the power play by Oscar Klefbom. And this is a pretty good one. He gets it at the point, lets it go, and it goes right through everybody, and it's like off the post and in or something like that. But that was a crazy goal, and I was like, how the hell did nobody touch that? It was on the power play, which means that the Vancouver Canucks ended up taking a penalty to cause that. But in my opinion, the penalties in the game in general were just so skewed over towards the Edmonton Oilers that I was kind of feeling a little bit unjustified in a lot of the calls. I was like, seriously, the Canucks are getting another penalty again? Because the Oilers had so many good power play opportunities that were just shut down by the Vancouver Canucks PK unit. So I give mega props to the PK coach for that. But that's all we get in the second period. It's one goal from Klefbom. And starting off the third period, I'm like, okay, the Vancouver Canucks haven't necessarily clawed back and won games all too often this season. So if there's a time to do it, it's now. The playoffs, the race is getting pretty tight. The Calgary Flames, they lost. The Coyotes, they lost. The Golden Knights were losing at the moment. And I think it was Clay Emu who actually tweeted that out, so big shout-outs to Clay. Also, props for the car vlogs. But if there was a period for the Vancouver Canucks to really take control, to really win, and to really allow themselves to come alive, it was this one. Because it's right before the break. This is it. And the Oilers don't score. The Oilers do not score in the entirety of the third period, but the Vancouver Canucks do. And they do it 3 times. It all starts out here with Bo Horvat, who receives a really nice pass from Tanner Pearson. He throws it in towards the net, and Bo Horvat is there. The rebound comes out, and he's kind of rushing towards the open ice. He rushes towards the open ice, and then he stops. He kind of stops, and his skates are kind of like this, and as he's going forward, the puck bounces off the inside of his right foot, and it goes in. But as that was happening, Bo Horvat is stopping, and as he's stopping, the ice kind of skitters, and then his right foot kind of pushes forward a little bit as the puck makes contact with it. So I was looking at that, and I'm like, okay, that looks like a huge kicking motion. Like, it doesn't look intentional, but that's what the motion was. Horvat's right foot was pushed in the direction that the puck ended up going in, which resulted in the puck going in that direction and getting in. In my opinion, that was like, yeah, okay, this is still an Edmonton lead. I don't think that's going to count. But it does. It counts as a good goal, And the referees, who I kind of thought were against the Canucks this entire game because all the calls were going the Oilers' way, they give one over to Vancouver, and all of a sudden it's tied. It's a tie game, and I'm sitting there like, okay, yeah, I don't think that was a goal, but I'll take it. Bo's got his first goal at home. Bo Horvat has been so unlucky on the 5-on-5 and at home that it was so great to see him get one just before the Christmas break. What a great Christmas present for Captain Bo over there. But the Vancouver Canucks don't stop there. And in fact, a little bit later, the Oilers get themselves in the box too. It's not just the Vancouver Canucks who are getting themselves penalty trouble. The Oilers get one, and it's too many men. John Shorthouse initially thought that this was a Vancouver penalty, so I was kind of sitting here freaking out. I was like, again, another penalty? This time it's too many men? Seriously, the Canucks can't catch a break. And then Shorty was like, oh no, it's actually for the Oilers. And I was like, okay, thank goodness. But the Canucks power play gets set up, and eventually it's played back over, and it's Huggy Bear who throws it on after a point feed from JT Miller. Just a big slap shot, it goes right in, and all of a sudden the Vancouver Canucks have the lead. It's 3-2, and I'm sitting here like, yes, we finally got one to go, and in a circumstance that actually feels really, really good to get a goal within. The Canucks have the 3-2 lead, and all of a sudden, okay, no, McDavid, Draisaitl, stop! That's what we had to deal with, because Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are two of the best players in this league. Arguably like number 1 and maybe number 5, number 4, number 3, I don't know. But they are up there, and they really started to take control of this game. Give credit where credit is due. Jacob Markstrom did his part. The Vancouver Canucks defensive lines did their part. Eriksson, Schaller, Motte, Beagle, those guys, they all did a really good job at containing the play, and that wasn't supposed to happen. Yeah, okay, there we go. And eventually, the Vancouver Canucks seal the deal with the empty net goal scored by Tanner Pearson, who doesn't shoot it. He gives it off to Alex Edler, and he's got an open look at the net too, and then he doesn't shoot it. Instead, he gives it to Loui Eriksson, who's coming right in on a breakaway with the empty net. He shoots it, he scores it, woohoo, everybody is happy. Because Edler, in his return, a very solid performance, gives it over to Loui Eriksson, who comes in, he shoots it, he scores it. People on Twitter were joking, or like, what the heck? What if Eriksson missed that or whatever? But yeah, no, screw that. Loui Eriksson was legitimately really good in this game. And the empty net goal kind of is a gift because of it. Eriksson had so many chances to bury it, and he finally gets it done when things are in crunch time. Travis Green left out Eriksson. He left out Edler. He left out Pearson. He left out Motte and all those guys at the very end of the game. And the Canucks end up winning. It's 4-2, and all of a sudden the Canucks are 1 point within a wild card spot. And that feels really, really gosh darn good. Actually, they're 1 point from tying the wildcard team. Not sure if the tiebreaker would go in the Canucks' favor, but either way, the playoffs, they're really close, and we're halfway through the year already, and things are looking really, really tight. Are we halfway through the year already? Just under halfway through the year. Yeah, something like that. But the Vancouver Canucks ultimately win. It's 4-2. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Whatever you celebrate, have yourself a good time. I'm going to be taking a break from making videos, but I'm not going to be taking a break from uploading videos because I still have videos on the horizon. Keep out for that tomorrow. Keep out for that on Christmas. And I hope you enjoy yourselves in these next 72 hours. Hope you enjoyed this video. Social 9, and bye.